October 24th, and my periods have disappeared again. So, I don't know. I went to see a new OBGYN. They told me basically I'm doing all the things they normally tell someone to do to get their body to get back to regular, and that's probably why my periods came back. But now they're gone again. And I guess there could be a few things that could have caused that. Kind of got off track with the periods. No, kind of got off track with eating when we were on vacation. I mean, it wasn't like terrible. It wasn't like I gained like a bunch of weight or I bloated up a lot or something. And it was only a week long, and 2 of those days we barely ate anything because we're on the road the whole time. So it's kind of crazy that maybe that was it, or, you know, stress. My ferret passed, and that was very stressful. Other stressful events with like work. So it could be something like that. Good news is, from that visit, they hooked me up with a fertility endocrinologist. Now, they booked out for a while, so they booked me in like November, the end of November. I was like, all right, I'll take it, I'll make it work, whatever. Got a call the other day that there's a new provider working for them, and they'll be working sooner. So I have my appointment actually next week. We'll kind of see what they say. They might give me medication to kind of help ovulation so we can get things started. We'll see. I don't know. You know, I have been back on my journey to curve everything and keep it on, which has been going well. I got real close to getting under 130, so that might happen this week. Let's see, hopefully, fingers crossed. And yeah, that's kind of where we're at for now. It's been over a year. We didn't have a period for a year. That's crazy. That does stuff to your body that you don't want it to do. It can increase your likelihood for cancer, and you know, that's not great. I know a lot of things kind of increase your likelihood for cancer, but this is an actual medical thing happening to me that can do it. So that's wild. It's kind of stressful in itself to be in this state, but it is where we're at for now. And I try not to dwell on it and move forward. Don't putting a lot into the baby making category, because if there's no periods, there's practically no ovulation going on. I mean, I guess I could test for ovulation every day until it happens, but again, that could take a year, as we've seen. I mean, hopefully not, because I've made all these changes and that's doing wonders, but I guess we'll see where we're at. So maybe I'll update you guys next week after we see the fertility endocrinologist. I wanted to give you guys another update on what's going on with me. So we had the appointment with the fertility OBGYN. It went fine, nothing special about it really. She was just like, first of all, want to run all these tests. So testing for problems with thyroid a little bit, mostly testing for like fertility things that might come up. Definitely like the PCOS, androgens, kind of identifiers, other things with fertility, prolactin, things like that. And then also, along with all the changes that I've already made to my diet, she suggested that I no longer eat processed foods. Now, if you know, processed food is like almost literally everything. You process your own foods. So I looked up, it's not necessarily that you can't eat processed foods. You want to stay away from like highly processed foods. Don't eat anything that has things you don't understand on the label. Now, I don't know if you know this, but that's like freaking everything. So I'm on that journey. I literally switched my peanut butter. Like, That's how much we're getting into this. My peanut butter is peanuts and salt. That's all that's in my peanut butter. That's what we're trying to do, right? I mean, I'm not changing my whole life. I am changing certain things about my life and my eating habits. And I know I've already changed a lot, but we just want to see more and more. We're getting there. I mean, let's go. We're below 130 for the whole week. So what we complained about, right? That's going good. We're losing weight. Should mean that things are going to kick back on, but we'll kind of see with that. So after that appointment, she put me on Provera again. She said, it didn't work the first time because your hormones weren't like going yet, basically. Like the pills had kind of suppressed those hormones. They're not doing anything, kind of thing. Now, because we're more than a year away, I've gotten my period again. Hormones should be fine. It should take to it, whatever. So I start taking Provera. I get 5 days in, which, mind you, they gave you a 30-day supplies with no, like, telling me you're only taking this for X amount of days. She said in the appointment, I'm pretty sure 7 days, but there was nothing written. So it's like, there's a lot of information in that appointment. Is that what it is? I don't know. So we get to the 5th day and I start bleeding. Nobody told me I could start bleeding. While on it, I thought I'd take it for X amount of days, I get off it, I start bleeding in 1 to 3 days. Something like that. So I'm bleeding. I call the doctor's office because I don't know what to do. Am I supposed to continue taking my Provera? Am I supposed to stop? Who knows? So I call them. They tell me, you gotta call the main line, even though that's the place I actually went to see the doctor, but okay. So I call them, and a nurse picks up. I explain the situation to her. She says, I'll let your team know and they'll get back to you. Do you know that I did not hear back from them for, what was it, like 3 days? 3 or 4 days? What does it matter at that point? Provera is something I'm taking every day. When was I supposed to stop taking it? I don't know. But I did stop taking it that day because I was like, I'm bleeding, I don't know what's happening, I'm going to stop taking it. So then the next day, I wasn't bleeding. But it was kind of okay because I also needed to schedule my FemView Sono HSG, which we'll get into what that is in a second. But basically, I need to get pre-approval from my insurance to be able to do that. Where's the pre-approval? Wasn't there yet. So we go, bleeding, no bleeding, bleeding. Okay, now I have my period. It was 2 days later. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I still don't have the authorization. I'm kind of freaking out. I'm like, I don't know what to do. But I did figure out where to get my blood work done. Because, by the way, that has to be done on day 3 of my cycle. Oh, okay, whatever. So, finally, I don't even know what time it was. It was like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I get a phone call from the doctor's office saying that I got the pre-approval and now I can schedule it. Which I had to do immediately because you're supposed to call the first day of your period. So I call, and then you have to do this test 6 to 11 days out. And I did it right on the 11th day because I don't know if you guys remember this, but I'm a therapist and I work throughout the week, and I already had clients scheduled. A week later, like all of those clients are scheduled. So I did have to move some stuff around. But I ended up doing it that Friday, which is, like I said, 11 days out. So 3 days into my menstrual cycle, I get my blood work done. They took 12 vials of blood from me. Don't know exactly how much that is because I don't know how much was in the vials. But for reference, I am too light for my height to give blood, but they took a bunch of blood from me. I just thought that was kind of funny. So we go through that process, that's whatever. We do get some of those blood tests back. There were a few that kind of stood out, like the prolactin stood out. And there were a few others, like the progesterone, like all of the like fertility ones were really low and kind of were like, oh, you don't have, they're kind of like, you're in menopause. Like a lot of them were like post-menopause even. Not like you're in menopause, post-menopause. And then the prolactin was like, you're pregnant, which I'm not, by the way. But that's just like what was coming up. Some of these are very consistent with PCOS from what I was reading. Some of them, I don't know. There may be more consistent with like thyroid stuff that's going on. My cholesterol is still high. Don't know what's that all about, but that is what it is. I still have to talk to the doctor about all of these results. We'll figure that out more when we get to that point, so I can give you updates. That's in a couple of weeks. So let's fast forward to day 10 of my cycle. I have to start an antibiotic that day. Start doxycycline. Which, by the way, I am a little sick, if you could hear that. I was sick on these days as well. Great. So I had to take doxycycline at breakfast and at dinner. And then the following day, we have to drive over an hour to this appointment because it is so far away. I don't know if I could have done this anywhere else. They didn't give me the option. They were like, here, you're going here. Okay. I have to, on the drive, take not only the doxycycline, but I also have to take 800 milligrams of ibuprofen because, by the way, this hurts. So then we get there and we're waiting and everybody else is getting called by numbers. And I'm like, am I supposed to get a number? I did not get a number. They just called me by my name. Thank goodness. So me and my husband go in. They kind of give us the lowdown on the procedure. So the first one is just an internal ultrasound. I got that done before. It's not that big of a deal. It can be uncomfortable. I did have an intern doing it. I did allow it because I was like, this is not very intrusive. But apparently, one of my ovaries is higher than normal. It's at 2 o'clock. And it was a little difficult to find. And it hurt a little bit when she was trying to find it. That wasn't a big deal. It really was just kind of a discomfort. However, then we get to the next part. They put a catheter in you. They have to put that all the way up into your uterus. They do the little clamps and then they shove that up. I mean, they don't shove it. They try to do it very gently. But once she got in there, worst pain I've had in such a long time. I just started crying. I could not talk. I could not say anything. I was in so much pain. And mind you, she said to, stop some of the pain, spread your legs further, take breaths in through your nose, out through your mouth. I could barely breathe out of my nose at this point. Not very helpful. So finally, we get through the pain. She gets it where it needs to be. And then she's shooting up water at first, just to kind of like look at it, see what's going on, blow it up a little bit, a little balloon in there and stuff. And then it's bubbles. And the bubbles are supposed to tell you if your tubes are clear or not. So first of all, she's being all weird about my uterus. She's like, this is a little weird. It kind of dips in, and she wasn't sure if it's a hole or if it's, an abnormality in my uterus. Leaning towards abnormality because I've never had any surgeries or anything down there. I'm not in a bunch of pain or anything, so probably just an abnormal uterus. But I looked that up, could cause complications of pregnancy. Don't need to worry so much about it for conception though. However, to confirm this, we do need to get a 3D ultrasound. So that'll be coming up, waiting for the doctors to call me on that. Got a referral. They're supposed to call me soon. I don't know. But good news is that my tubes are clear. Now, all of this is very frustrating. It's very concerning. It's kind of ridiculous the things that I've gone through medically that are rare things, but they're all happening to me. I mean, PCOS isn't super rare, A lot of people have it. But, you know, it's still an extra thing. But if I have, say, a heart-shaped uterus, even if it's not a complete one and just a semi one, that's kind of rare. And I have cholesteatoma in my ear. That's kind of rare. That came back a lot. So, you know, where we're dealing with some stuff, I'm very frustrated. I'm very tired. Being sick on top of it is just not where I want to be. It makes it that much harder to be present and actually do what I need to do. But I just wanted to give you guys that update so you kind of know where we're at right now. And it's just another part of the journey. Thanks for joining me.